to the Prophecy Club, and I don't want to tell you the topic today. I want you to figure it out. I think that you will, but I think it'll be even more powerful if you realize it rather than me just telling you what this is all about. Now, before I get to talking about it, let me give you a brief announcement. So here's what happened. This past Sunday, our newest member of the Spirit of Prophecy Church and also with Prophecy Club, I'll leave her name off right now, came to me all excited because Andre Bronkhorst, a prophet out of South Africa, she learned is going to be ministering in the area August 4th through 8th. So I was able to reach him, and he's agreed to come and give a personal prophecy to everyone attending, time willing, of course. The power of having a prophet from another continent, because this guy is from South Africa, is you can be assured that whatever he says did not come from anyone here, because he will not know you. And she says he has a very powerful ministry. She has seen him minister in South Africa. She says people come from miles around, stream in to get a prophecy from this guy. He's going to be speaking and ministering at the Spirit of Prophecy Church, 2540 K Avenue. That's Suite 100 in Plano, Texas, Monday, August 5th. Doors open at 5. He'll be speaking and ministering from 6 to 10 p.m. I'll say it again. Spirit of Prophecy Church, 2540 K Avenue in Plano, and that's Monday, August 5th. Doors open at 5. Ministry from 6 to 10 p.m. And as popular as this guy is, my guess is the place is going to be packed. So if I were you, I would not walk in at 6 o'clock. So anyway, Spirit of Prophecy Church, Monday, August 5th, no charge. All right, so here's one to see if you can figure out what's going on, and I think you can. See if you can discern how this report relates to previous prophecies from Michael Boldea, me, Kurt Weldon, Augusto Perez, and Doug Metzger. Here's the headline. Radiation alert. Portland, Maine, nearby Concord, New Hampshire, also spiked wildly. The article goes on to say, this comes to us from HalTurnerRadioShow.com. According to the Nuclear Emergency Tracking Center website, radiation readings in Portland, Maine have skyrocketed to 633 counts per minute of deadly gamma radiation in the 600 to 800 keV range, prompting a quote, Raycon 5 alert. Nearby Concord, New Hampshire is also showing a sudden inexplicable, keyword there, inexplicable spike in radiation to its present high reading of 338 CPM. According to nuke professional readings, this high can be dangerous for humans. Their chart below explains. Now, let me explain what the chart says. If you're getting 12 clicks per minute, that is low, doesn't have much danger. 25 is pretty normal. 55 clicks a minute happens once in a while with no real reason, just keep an eye on it. 100 clicks per minute is alert. No need to panic, but you do need to try to figure out what is going on, stay out of the rain, avoid unnecessary trips. 150 clicks a minute is real risk of cancer if you're exposed to it for a year. 500 clicks per minute is a real risk of cancer if you're exposed to it for 90 days. It goes on to say, if the radiation gets inside your body, it is 20 times more powerful. It is not known at this time what is causing the radiation levels to suddenly spike to this amount. Now, what do you suppose might be going on? How might be a radiation level increase? How could that relate to anything to do with the prophecies we've been talking about on this radio program? Let's go on, see if you can figure it out. A gamma ray or gamma radiation, by the way, what I did is just Google gamma rays because it says it's having gamma rays. So I looked up, okay, what's a gamma ray? It says a gamma ray or gamma radiation is penetrating electromagnetic radiation arising from the radioactive decay of atomic nuclei. It consists of the shortest wavelength electromagnetic waves and so imparts the highest photon energy. Nuclear bombs release their energy in the form of a blast, a fireball, visible light, and radioactive ionizing rays, if I said that right, for a small bomb. 50% of its energy release comes from the blast, 35% through heat, and the remaining 15% in the form of radiation. Specifically, gamma radiation prevails for powerful bombs. The point is that gamma radiation has to do with nuclear bombs. What in the world is gamma radiation doing spiking in 13 American cities, where it's saying that these radiation levels are high? 13 of them. Let me read the names of them: Bangor, Maine; Bar Harbor, New York; Concord, New Hampshire; Worcester, Massachusetts; Brookline, Massachusetts; Nashua, Massachusetts; Hartford, Connecticut; Long Island, New York; Syracuse, New York; Albany, New York; Burlington, Vermont; and Ottawa, Canada. That's 13 cities. This article is dated 31 July 2019, as in by the time you hear this, 2 days ago. Okay, so my first question is to help you figure this out. Bangor, Maine to New York is 414 miles. I don't know what could cause radiation strong enough to reach out 414 miles in all directions, because this is kind of in a circle. There's 13 cities. Most of those cities, as I look at the Google map, are anywhere from 50 to 100 miles apart. So what is going on? What is going on? 13 cities, all of a sudden, the same day, begin to detect gamma radiation levels high enough to give you cancer. And of course, it says 500 if you're exposed to it 90 days, but this is reading 636. That's not an accident, brothers and sisters. Let's go on, see if you can figure this out. Iranian sleeper cells activated. We've already crossed the line with Iran. Iran already considers America guilty of an act of war. Benjamin Fulford at benjaminfulford.net also reports, quote, "It now looks like the Khazarian, that's the international bankers, are activating their Iranian sleeper cells to start World War III." Now, question, do you think the explosions that we've already reported at the Pennsylvania oil refinery, then the next day an oil pipeline in Texas, then the next day an explosion at a mall, then the next day an explosion and fire at Jim Beam Whiskey Warehouse, and the electricity being shut off in New York City, do you think they were all random? See, Iran has said that if Tehran is attacked, nuclear detonations will take place on U.S. soil. Here's the most interesting part before I get to the point where I'm going to have to tell you. July 31st, 2019, headline says, Exxon refinery explodes in Texas. Yes, as in this was, by the time you hear this, 2 days ago. It says the Exxon Mobil refinery in Baytown, Texas, which just happens to be one of the largest in America, just east of Houston, suffered a major explosion and is presently on fire. No word on what caused the inferno. Okay, so what do you think is going on? I'll give you another hint, then I'll tell you. January 9th, 2005, I had prayed that night, and I said, Lord, I want you to tell me what is the next 9/11 attack. Matter of fact, I put it into a DVD called The Next 9/11 Attack, available at prophecyclub.com. Watch instantly at watchprophecyclub.com. And I was shown that there would be a series of suitcase, there you go, I just gave you a hint, a series of suitcase nuclear explosions all across America. International bankers would use sophisticated bombs and experts in several cities, with one hitting a regional bank, destroying their records and their backups. This would put billions of dollars into the hands of the international bankers. I want you to hear that again. International bankers. International bankers are the ones that are in control of those bombs. That's a big key. International bankers, while throwing the U.S. economy into a free fall. So I went back to sleep after I'd recorded it, and then I had a second dream. It was a continuation of this. And I saw two people wearing long black robes, kind of like you see Muslims wear, or judges or nuns, and they were walking one behind the other. I couldn't see their faces, but my impression was that they were spiritual leaders. probably Muslims, was my guess. Trusted by those around them, they were carrying a galvanized bucket about the size of a 5-gallon bucket suspended between them on a wooden pole, and it had what looked like soapy water in the bucket. Inside the water was a bomb. They were carrying it through a crowd. Now, you should be getting a real good hint on what's going on. They were carrying it through the crowd. The people were laughing, dancing, partying like a fiesta. They had no idea that these people, here it is, if you'll catch it, they had no idea that these people were transporting a nuclear device. When I was speaking about this, had someone came up to me and said, did you know that the way you transport a nuclear device is in, I think he said it was heavy water or some kind of, anyway, he said, but when you look at it, it looks like soapy water. Okay, hang on. Let's figure this out. So we have to ask ourselves, we understand that Iran might be angry at us enough to set off some nukes, especially if we were to have gone ahead and attacked them. But Iran is not really in charge of the suitcase nukes. They may know about them. So what did the dream say? The dream said that it's international bankers, as in the Khazarian mafia. These are the people that are in charge of those suitcase nukes. All right, so that brings a bigger question. Why would international bankers be so angry as to set off anywhere from 20 to 50 suitcase nukes in America? You got it? I'll ask it again. Think it through. You got the answer. It's right in front of you. Why would the international bankers be so angry that they would set off from 20 to 50 suitcase nukes all across America? All right, well, now let's jump to the next piece of information. We are about to see 106, 502 sealed indictments arrested. In other words, for corruption or sex trafficking. Benjamin Fulford said just the other day that Jeffrey Epstein is just another domino to fall. At least 100,000 others will follow, including a wide swath of, here it is, politicians, celebrities, billionaires, and yes, you guessed it, international bankers, your Khazarian mafia. And, however, a complete purge of the satanic elements of the world power structure will be needed before this is possible. With 110 indictments that are being unsealed with Epstein, a Twitter outrage, and California quakes, ICE raids with federal troops may lead to mass arrests. In other words, could you believe that if 100-some-odd-thousand politicians, celebrities, billionaires, as in international billionaires, international bankers, billionaires, you got that, okay? If there were 110,000 of them all arrested over a few-day period, do you think that that might get them angry enough to pull out those nukes? Now, let's back up to the very beginning of the broadcast. See if you can get this. And here's where I really, really, really wished you could see what I'm talking about. So I want you to try to picture in your mind this map. Top right corner is Bangor, Maine. Bottom left corner is New York City. I measured it. It's 414 miles from Maine to New York City. And these are not in a circle. They are scattered out. They have a little, I don't know what you call that symbol. They have a little symbol where this radiation was detected. And I read the cities here. I'll read the cities again. Bangor, Maine, Bar Harbor, which, by the way, is about like 50 miles from Bar Harbor. But it's about from Bangor, Maine to New York, it's 414 miles. And then each one of these cities are about 50 to 100 miles apart. Concord, New Hampshire, Worcester, Massachusetts, Brookline, Nashua, Hartford, Connecticut, Long Island, Syracuse, Albany, New York, Burlington, Vermont, and Ottawa, Canada. Now, what do you suppose is going on? Do you think that this is one event that has caused this gamma radiation to spike? Or what do you think is really happening? Now, I'm not going to tell you. Just a second. Think for just a second. Why is it we have radiation meters spiking in 13 cities, all of which are 50 to 100 miles apart? Why? Let's say it again. Think it through. Why do you think we have gamma radiation meters skyrocketing is the word, to 636 counts per minute in 13 cities, all in a general vicinity, all about 50 to 100 miles apart? Okay. Now, first of all, let me give you a disclaimer. I do not know. No one has slipped an envelope under my door. I don't have any alphabet agency giving me any information. Never have. Probably never will. This is only coming what I pick up in the Spirit and what God has spoken through Bible prophecy and these modern prophets. In my opinion, my suspicion is that just like Benjamin Fulford said, that they have awakened the Iranian super or sleeper cells, and my guess is that they have gone out and they have dug up these suitcase nuclear bombs that were probably put inside of a lead container and buried deeply in the ground. And they're probably going out and pulling them out of the ground, and when they pulled them out of the ground, that increased the gamma rays. When they pulled them out of the lead box, because they're checking to make sure that they got the battery, they got the whatever, they got all the connections, that they're all set and they're all ready to go, and they may be moving them into place because the elite know that there's about to be 110,000 of them arrested, which is part of removing the old guard, draining the swamp, whatever you want to call it, healing our land. And they don't like the fact 110,000 of them about to be arrested, and so they may be waiting. 110,000 bad boys get arrested, and they say, okay, set off the nukes. All of a sudden, the second snake bite hits America. Now, is that the judgment? You remember August the 8th, 2015, I heard the audible voice of God say, this is the time of miracles. Then he downloaded to my heart and said, as the judgment hits, so will my miracles. And what he said to my heart was, these miracles are going to be bigger, better, and greater than any human has ever seen all the way back to Adam. No one has seen the kind of miracles he's about to do. Will this light up the miracles? I don't know. A bigger question. Would let's say just 13. Let's just say 13. Let's say this all is set off, just 13. I don't know how many they got. I mean, we'll get to that in just a second. Say 13 suitcase nukes went off in these cities I mentioned. Let's say the arrests happen, and within a week or two, maybe even a month later, all of a sudden these suitcase nukes go off as retaliation for all of these corrupt individuals, these sex traffickers, being arrested. Do you think that might begin to wake up some of the pre-tribbers? I'd like to think so, but I can't count on it. Okay, so now let's go to the background. 1998, in case you haven't heard the story, we had Stanislav Lunev, the highest-ranking Russian military officer to ever defect from Russia, come into the Prophecy Club, and he made a DVD. Yes, it's available at prophecyclub.com. Also, all of these are also available at prophecyclub.com, and also watch Prophecy Club, and you can watch them instantly there. Anyway, he made a Prophecy Club DVD called Russian Defector Warns America. And in this video, he stated that the 50, quote, lost in Russia suitcase nuclear bombs had been smuggled into the United States. He was actually part of the team that came over here looking for places to hide them. And by the way, I remember part of his talk was he specifically was looking for them in the Shenandoah Valley. Now, I haven't looked it up, but it seemed like what we're talking about is real close to the Shenandoah Valley. So I'm sure someone listening will look up Shenandoah Valley and see just how close that is to the cities we just mentioned. But let's go on. May 5th, 2003, Michael Boldea, which is the grandson and interpreter for Dimitri Duduman, had a dream in which Dimitri Duduman came to him in the dream. He was shown a series of what he told me on the radio, what he thought was suitcase nukes going off in California, Illinois, Michigan, Arizona, Washington State, Florida, and New York. He says, I saw the outline of a map of America and the outlines of states begin taking shape. As I continued to watch this map solidify, Small lights began to flicker on and off in some of the states. I recognized California, Illinois, Michigan, Arizona, Washington State, Florida, and New York. Among the states that lit up, the light was rhythmic, almost like a homing beacon, constant in its progression, meaning that they probably have them set off to go off, say, one every 30 minutes, or maybe one every hour, okay? But all probably the same day. I continued watching the lights going on and off, waiting for something else to happen. Finally, I said, I don't understand. He said, these are the places where those people who were sent here long ago, probably Iranian sleeper cells, to bring fear and cause chaos, have situated themselves. They lie in wait, planning and plotting destruction. They are as coiled serpents, looking forward to the hour when they will be loosed upon this nation. If God's children pray, once more, He will delay the season of sorrow that is yet to come. Now, that was 2003. And I don't have time to go into it right now, but I'm real convinced that we have already, I'm talking about our fast track team, have already prayed away at least one delay. So I'm calling for everybody, brothers and sisters, we better be praying, because 13 suitcase nukes go off in America, and America will never be the same again. It weakens us, and the prophecies say it is one of the two things, it's the second of the third things that destroys. Here, let me tell you that. So on October 15th, 2004, in a dream summarized as The Eagle and the Serpents by Michael Boldea, he was shown an eagle was killed by 3 serpents. He was told that the first serpent represented 9/11. He said the second serpent, and I'll read it here, just as it seemed the eagle was winning the battle, and the serpent was retreating, a second serpent appeared, red and black diagonal stripes covering his body. Without hesitation, he struck out at the eagle's right wing, biting down, refusing to release. After a momentary tug of war, the serpent tore off flesh and feathers, leaving a large wound in the eagle's right wing. The second bite was much worse than the first, and for an instant the eagle was stunned. Then a serpent, much larger than the previous 2, made of many colors, meaning many nations, slithered toward the eagle, opened his jaws, lunged, taking the whole of the eagle's head in its mouth before biting down. The serpents retreated, and the man who had been standing beside me walked to the eagle, knelt down, picked it up, and held it in his hands and said, the true tragedy is that any moment it could have sought the safety of the above. It could have soared toward the heavens and would have found its protection, meaning America. He says, one thing I feel I need to share with you, that the second bite seemed to come from an unexpected place. The second bite seemed to come from an unexpected place. Would you say that 13 suitcase nukes going off up in the Maine area would be an unexpected attack? In 2005, former Congressman Curt Weldon, vice chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, was reported to that there is a plot to set explosions in 10 cities. He could not get the authorities to act, so he published in a book called Countdown to Terror. He said the 10 cities are Valdez, Alaska, Los Angeles, Lost Wages, Boston, New York City, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Chicago, Miami, and Houston. February 2013, Doug Metzger made a Prophecy Club DVD called Will You Survive America's Fall?, in which he reports he was shown a vision of suitcase nukes hitting Los Angeles, New York City, Las Vegas, Washington, D.C., Chicago, San Francisco, Houston, Seattle, Orlando, Dallas, Atlanta, and Denver. Then Augusto Perez had a vision. He said, I was watching TV when all of a sudden I started to see the television screen very large explosions taking place in major cities of the United States. They appeared to be very large, like suitcase nuclear explosions. Many people died from these explosions. I could see the news reporters reporting the explosions and saying how many people had died. I saw the scene in the television change twice as they were reporting from different cities. In the background, I could see the debris of the explosions and the smoke coming out of it. I also heard sirens blaring loudly in the background. Augusto Perez. Now remember, Iran has stated that if either the U.S. or Israel attacks her, nuclear detonations will take place on American soil. Russia has stated that if Israel or U.S. attacks Iran, Russia will react as if it is an attack on Moscow. So we are real close to this, brothers and sisters. Question is, could it be that we're about to see these suitcase nukes go off all across America? I call all people to pray for a softening and a delay or a removal of this prophecy that the suitcase nukes would not go off in America. If you like Prophecy Club, if it is one of your ministries that you support, if you feel like we're doing the right thing, then would you consider sending us a donation? It's summertime, and man, our donations have dropped just down to almost nothing. So if you could help us right now, it would really be appreciated. prophecyclub.com. Back in 2017, I memorized the book of Revelation. I got about 30 revelations and 2 visions. God showed me the word first fruits is actually a secret door linking the feast of Leviticus to the prophecies of Revelation, allowing the end-time events to be placed in chronological order as never before. One prophetic word said it this way: there is a lock that I have put over a word in the book of Revelation that I'm going to open unto you. It will turn many books written on the end time into obsolete books. That's this book. In this book, for the first time, you will understand that on first fruits, Jesus, the Lamb, returns to Mount Zion with 144,000 one-year-old Jews. On Pentecost, the wheat who are ready go to the marriage supper of the Lamb with the barley. The Father promotes Jesus at the marriage supper from Lamb to Lion, from Prince to King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Jesus receives many crowns, a vesture dipped in his own sacrificed blood, and a white horse. The barley and wheat receive a wedding garment and a white horse to return on trumpets about 4 months later. This is the day of the Lord. Jesus, the judge, uses the morning star, lightning sword to burn the tares. This is the judgment seat of Christ. All in Jesus report here and receive their just rewards. On atonement, Jesus is the judge at the great white throne. For those not in Jesus, the dead are judged based upon their works written in the books. Whosoever was not found written in the book is cast into the lake of fire, which is the second death. On Tabernacles, the New Jerusalem comes down from God out of heaven, all explained in the secret door to understand Bible prophecy. 1 for 20, don't do that. 5 for 30, 10 for 55, or a case of 60 for $250 at prophecyclub.com. 1 for 20, 5 for 30, 10 for 55, prophecyclub.com. Gives you extras to give away to your friends. You can now watch 160 Prophecy Club recordings and soon over 300 without interruption. Most people would agree 300 titles, normally $30 each. A gift of $100 a month would be reasonable. $50 a pretty good deal, but the introductory rate for a limited time is just $20 recurring monthly subscription. A 1-year subscription is a gift of $200. There's no contract. You can cancel anytime you want to, and you get the first 3 days free just to check it out. The best deal is a yearly subscription that'll lock in your rate for a year even when we raise the rates. Watch prophecyclub.com. Go check it out. Watch prophecyclub.com. Now you can donate to the Prophecy Club on your mobile device. Just text the word prophecy to 444-999 and follow the prompts. Just text the word prophecy to 444-999 and follow the prompts. Message and data rates may apply. You can also listen to the Prophecy Club anytime on Alexa, Google Home, and YouTube. Just say, Alexa, play Prophecy Club. Our websites are prophecyclub.com, watchprophecyclub.com, sevenfoldmiraclecrusades.com, and a Prophecy Club has been a blessing to you. And if God has blessed you, when it comes time for your giving, please remember Prophecy Club. It's summertime. We really could use your help now. Thank you, and God bless.